Good morning. My name is Albert, and on behalf of me and my family here at Bellaire, we welcome you to our visitors, and we're truly grateful that you have joined with us. And to my brothers and sisters, good morning, and I'm glad to be seen, as you'll hear me say from time to time, and I hope that it will bear in mind that we're here for. I'm grateful to the elders here at Bellaire who have allowed us men who are members to be able to lead a talk before our observance and fulfillment of the Lord's Supper the first day of the week. My goal is briefly to bring to mind thoughts, reflections, and observances to help us visualize the great sacrifice made on our behalf, so that when we partake, we will be in one accordance and partake as one mind and one body. Now, to pause a moment to my younger folks who won't be partaking with us, those in elementary, those in middle school, those in high school, I ask your assistance, and I ask for your help to help me, help us. We appreciate the efforts that you put by allowing your mom and dad or your grandparents or your aunts and uncles to be able to focus on this time that we have coming up soon. You've prepared yourself, you're sitting still, you're helping out, but also ask you to pray. Pray that when we partake, that we fulfill our obligation of what God has asked of us. I ask that you observe and take note that it's not just, hopefully, we're running through and getting everything taken care of as adults or as those who have put on the name of Christ, but that we're able to reflect and truly take upon that. And I ask that you help keep us accountable, that by what I say and how we proclaim this, that you help us proclaim that, and how you help me live my life and how you live your life as well. And I strongly urge and request that you think about this moment and this time, and that you find within your heart that you grow and you develop a love for God, that you too want to join in with us and you proclaim. So I'm grateful for the youth that we have here. It's our responsibility to tell you about what we do, and we encourage you to live your life accordingly and to continue to grow and be strong, that you too can also proclaim this. For us that will be partaking shortly, I turn to 1 Corinthians 11, 23 through 26. New American Standard. For I received from the Lord that which I also delivered to you, that the Lord Jesus, in the night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, "This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, he took the cup also after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink the cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes." So I'm preparing my thoughts throughout the week and thinking about the word that was popping out to me was proclaim. And when we think about the word proclaim, how has it diluted or how has it become stronger in our lives, or as we are as Christians out in this world? If you look from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's a verb. And I ask that as I go through these, you think when you proclaim, especially when you proclaim your faith, your belief that Christ was the Son of God, that your belief that he died, and that your belief that he will come again, are you proclaiming it as what others have seen it and accounted it to be? Announce officially or publicly. Declare something once one considers important with due emphasis. Declare officially or publicly to be. Latin root, proclamare, and I apologize to those who cringe at my enunciation. First part, pro, fourth, clamare, to shout. Strong's assigns a number to it, G2605, cat angelo. proclaim, promulgate, declare, preach, show, speak of, teach. So as I go back to verse 26, for as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. Briefly, I'll take the opposite side, antonyms for proclaim. Hide, cover, hush, keep back, be quiet, withhold, revoke, deny, conceal, bury, secrete, silence, and obscure. When we think of the antonyms, the opposite of proclaim, I have to self-evaluate. What is it when I'm doing? Where is my mindset? And what am I stating when I partake of these emblems that Christ has boldly and specifically told us to partake each first day of this week, as we have example in Acts? Do we proclaim by observance of partaking of the bread and by partaking of the fruit of the vine? Do we proclaim his death? Or do we mentally and or physically, as we're out in this world, hold that back? Do we conceal? Heaven forbid, do we deny? Do we cover? Do we keep hush? So I encourage us today, a new beginning, to think upon these words as we're about to go into observance of the Lord's Supper and partake of these emblems. An example to me, so instead of the just Nike, just do it, turning to scriptures, looking at the word proclaim, I'm reminded of Psalm 96, New American Standard. I'll read through this, and then I'll ask those that are in charge of the table to come forth and help us to observe in our worship of the Lord's Supper. Psalm 96, a call to worship the Lord, the righteous judge. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord, all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bless his name. Proclaim the good news of his salvation from day to day. Tell of his glory among the nations, his wonderful deeds among all the peoples. For great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the people are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Splendor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are his sanctuary. Ascribe to the Lord, you families of the peoples. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory of his name. Bring an offering and come into his courtyards. Worship the Lord in holy attire. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. Indeed, the world is firmly established. It will not be moved. He will judge the peoples fairly. May the heavens be joyful and may the earth rejoice. May the sea roar and all it contains. May the field be jubilant and all that is in it. Then all of the trees of the forest will sing for joy. Before the Lord he is coming, for he is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness and the people in all his faithfulness. God will come again, and his Son will ascend. And that which we commit when we partake of these emblems that we show this world, I do not deny Christ. I acknowledge Christ. I acknowledge his sacrifice. I acknowledge that he was the true Son of God. I acknowledge he came to this earth and lived a life of no sin. And I acknowledge that he will come again, and I want to be found within his fold. So I thank you for this time, and I ask that the men take charge at the table.